Usually when you finish a major test or an exam, there is this defined waiting period.
Right. You hand in the paper and you just walk away.
Exactly. It's completely out of your hands at that point.
Yeah, there is a structured physical process built into that reality, to let your brain know that the work is officially done.
But today, we basically carry that exact same stomach-dropping, exam result-waiting panic in our pockets all day long. Welcome to today's deep dive, everyone.
We are so glad you are here with us.
Today, we are looking at excerpts from a B2 English learning guide called Digital Silence. And our mission here is to really unpack the surprisingly exhausting modern stress of texting anxiety.
Yeah, and discover some practical ways to protect your peace of mind. Because waiting for a text honestly feels exactly like waiting for a life-altering exam result sometimes.
Oh, 100% it does.
And we have to look at what the brain is biologically doing when we hit send. Like, why does a tiny digital message trigger such a massive physical response?
Well, I think it really comes down to the void we are communicating into. Text messages just completely strip away all human context.
Right. There's no tone of voice.
No facial expressions, no body language, literally nothing.
Exactly.
So we are basically handed a cold black and white script, and our anxious brains instantly decide to direct it as a tragedy.
That is such a brilliant way to put it. Because there is a void of information, the brain feels this survival compulsion to fill it. And usually it fills it with the absolute worst-case scenario.
Right, like the famous aggressive period.
Yes. The source material highlights this perfectly. Someone replies with just the word okay and a full stop.
The absolute worst.
Right. Suddenly, a simple punctuation mark feels like a furious personal attack.
It really does. And it's fascinating that this B2 English guide dedicates a whole chapter to this exact feeling.
Yeah.
They actually take language learners on a word tour of these concepts.
I love that section. It really breaks down the vocabulary of our digital neuroses in such a warm way.
Let's actually do that word tour right now for you listening. Just let the natural English flow over you. No judgment, no dictionary needed.
Yeah, just relax and absorb it. The first word is anxious.
Anxious, meaning feeling worried, nervous, and mentally unsettled about something uncertain.
Right, like that low-grade but persistent stress of waiting for a digital message. Then we have the phrase, read into it.
Oh, I do this all the time. To read into it means to find or assume a deeper, usually negative meaning in something that may have been completely innocent.
Yes, exactly. That is the core habit that makes texting anxiety so exhausting. Which leads right into the third word, overanalyze.
Overanalyze. Turning a two-word text message into like an hour-long internal investigation.
Yeah.
Examining it in way more detail than the situation actually warrants.
We all do it. And I think the absolute peak of that overanalyzing panic is definitely the typing bubble.
Oh, wow. Yes. You send a text, the three little bouncing dots appear, and then, they just vanish entirely.
Just boom, gone for like 45 minutes.
The crushing weight of that silence is so incredibly real. I swear, my brain instantly screams that I am being judged or I did something terrible.
But the guide offers a crucial reality check right here. The other person likely does not hate you. They are just living a messy, normal life.
Right. They're just busy.
Exactly. Their brain is like a computer with 50 tabs open, and your text is just the 51st tab trying to load. They might be stepping onto a crowded bus or, their brain is just buffering from notification overload.
Okay, but since that silence is usually about their overloaded bandwidth and not a rejection of you, how do we actually short-circuit the panic? Because just telling myself they're busy does not stop my heart rate from spiking.
That is a really great point. Because this anxiety is a physiological stress loop, you cannot just think your way out of it. You have to literally break the physical connection first.
So physical distance, putting the phone in another room.
Yes, exactly. Stop it from being a time thief.
Which then forces you back into your actual physical environment, right? Like doing the dishes or taking a walk instead of staring at a piece of glass.
Engaging your tactile senses. Feeling the warm water on those dishes literally interrupts the brain's default mode network. It pulls you out of that imaginary, anxious future.
Oh, I see. It forces your nervous system to ground itself in present reality.
Precisely. So we have physical distance and tactile disruption. The guide's third strategy is cognitive. Change the narrative and give people the benefit of the doubt.
But let's be real for a second. Sometimes an exec with the period actually is passive-aggressive. How do we tell the difference between our invented anxiety and actual conversational red flags?
Well, that is the tricky part. The key is looking for a shift in baseline behavior. If they usually use emojis and exclamation points and suddenly drop a harsh full stop, okay, that shift communicates tension.
Right, that makes sense.
But the goal of changing the narrative is not to be blindly optimistic. It is just to stop assuming the worst-case scenario as your default reaction to a delayed response.
Yeah, we have to build enough inner security to give people the grace to be busy. Most texts really do mean exactly what they say.
And that little typing bubble is definitely not a magical window into someone's soul.
No, it is absolutely not. So we want to leave you with this final thought to mull over today.
Go ahead.
If every minute you spend overanalyzing a two-word text is a minute of real life quietly slipping past a tiny screen,
Yeah.
what beautiful real-world moments are you entirely missing right now just because you are staring at a blank